grace is my defense. Your kindness calls me friend.
What up, YouTube? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Sherry. Thank you so much for being here today. Today I'm here just to sit down, have a chat with you, do my makeup, and just catch up because it has been a really long time. I think we all know that 2020 into 2021 have been some of the craziest times that we've had in our lifetime, and I'm really ready to put it in the past, move forward, have some normalcy, and that includes regularly filming for my channel. As most of you know, I am a school teacher. I teach second grade. I just finished my 18th year, and man, this was a year. It was full of things that I never thought I would experience. Some good, some bad. I think there was some negative, and I think there was definitely some positive that came out of it. But that being said, I'm going to get started putting on my makeup. And today I kind of wanted to do a shop my stash, get ready with me, a chit chat, get ready with me, talk with you, and I'll list everything in the description box because I'm probably not going to be specific about what I'm using. I'm just going to slap it on. I'm getting ready to film for a collab video, and so I need to look better than this, right? So if you want to see what look I end up coming up with and just kind of get a life update on Sherri, then please keep watching. I already have my skincare on, so I'm going to go ahead and put on some primers and get after it with my complexion products, which I always like to do first. So it is like a time warp when I look back on the last year and a half, because we went into spring break and we never went back to school after that. We definitely did some distance learning at that point, but we gave them a bunch of work, and they were supposed to turn it back into us whenever we returned, but we didn't return. It definitely felt weird because we were maybe 2/3 through the year and we still had a quarter left with our students, and so just to leave without that closure was really strange. And I feel like a lot of those students have moved on. A lot of them were homeschooled, and so I don't know what happened to them. Obviously I saw the ones that are still in my school, but there are a lot of students that didn't come back to our school. Either they went to other districts or other schools, moved, went to online learning. And so I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to finish up and do all the things that I do that are fun at the end of the year. So I didn't like the way the school year ended, but obviously I had zero choice in that situation. So obviously some of the stuff that I'm using is stuff that I've already used or that are my staple products, and so I'm not even going to mention those. Always a hair always. But I am going to go in and use some products that I haven't used in a long time because I don't even remember if I like them. But I also want to go in and use a bunch of products that I haven't used in a long time that I don't even remember if I like, the formula, if the shade's correct. So I'm going to go and try this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glo. I remember I used to love the Pro Matte, but I don't remember this at all. So I'm going to use it. Don't know if it matches. Just going to slap it on and I'll make adjustments with concealer and all the jazz. So I guess the good part about all the COVID stuff is that I don't think I had it. I have no idea. But when we were on spring break, my husband got super sick. I mean so sick, I don't think I've ever seen him so sick. And most of you know that he's type 1 diabetic and has lots of health issues. He's wheelchair bound, and so he has lots of issues. He's in dialysis and, and kidney failure and all the jazz. Don't know about this shade, folks, but we're gonna roll with it. But it was crazy because, they had all the little things to tell you that that you might have COVID or whatever. One of them was losing taste and smell. Well, he didn't lose taste or smell, but he lost his hearing. He couldn't hear. And it was crazy and he couldn't breathe. It was so bizarre. But he ended up going into the hospital. He was there for 10 days. I couldn't even go visit because that was right at the beginning of COVID. And they did a COVID test at the emergency room before they transported him to a bigger hospital. And it took like 10 days to get the results. And it said it was negative. But like later on, we found out that, you know, they had to stick that Q-tip all the way up into your brain, like literally up into your brain in order for it, and like leave it up there for a long time in order to get the right sample so that it wouldn't be a false negative or positive. And so I just don't think they did it right. Not on purpose, I just don't think they knew. And he was fighting them. He was so out of it. He was fighting them, trying to pull their arms down the whole time. I don't think they got a good sample. So we had taken him to urgent care. I had taken him to urgent care, and he did not have pneumonia. He did not have strep. He did not have the flu. And all that being said, and as sick as he was and having all the breathing problems, I just really think he had it, and they just didn't test him accurately. This looks super yellow, orange, brown, weird. But again, we're going to roll with it. Doesn't have a lot of coverage. That Pro Matte was so full coverage. But I'm okay. I'm not going anywhere today. I'm doing some painting for my friend to try to help her out with some of her crafting, and gonna film a collab video after this. But anyway, so he was in the hospital for 10 days. That was crazy. At that time, they didn't have very many tests, so they wouldn't do a test on me because they didn't want to waste it. I had no symptoms. But because I was exposed, potentially, I was on quarantine for 14 days. So that was crazy, being at home by myself. Oh my gosh, it was so bizarre. And so I think our brush with COVID happened at the very beginning, and you know, we don't definitely know either way if either one of us had it. I did end up getting sick while he was in the hospital, and with like felt like a kind of a severe sinus infection, like really bad congestion, really bad coughing, and I didn't ever feel like I couldn't breathe, but I still, you know, definitely had a fever and didn't feel good for several days. And I pretty much knew not to go to the hospital because they weren't gonna use a test on me unless I was super severe, and I wasn't. I was okay. Since this is super dark, which you probably can't even tell because of my lighting, I'm gonna go in with a lighter concealer just to kind of brighten up the rest of my face. But I'm gonna go in with some Tarte CC color corrector. I haven't used this in a really long time, and I'm pretty sure I still like it, but compared to what I have been using, I don't know how it adds up, how it measures up, I guess is the right way to say it. So that was super crazy, super an intense time to go through. And of course I wasn't seeing my parents at all because I was not about to expose them to anything. And we never did go back to school. And so that was just a weird feeling to go into the summer and not be able to finish things out like we ordinarily do. I'm going to use this e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I've been using the hydrating one and it's been working real nice. But I don't remember about the regular one, and this is quite a bit lighter, so hopefully it will brighten things up a little bit. I'll put it in my little spots. But anyway, we went back to school officially in person in August. We did take 2 weeks longer. We took 2 weeks off with kids, but we went to actual work. We went through the school year with a lot of sanitation, with a lot of different schedules, keeping the same kids together, you know, all these things, as much as we could do. I felt like our district did so much to really keep us safe, and they did the best they could to keep us safe. And I really appreciated that, and I did feel safe, and I felt like I could go to my job and I wasn't at all risking my life to go there, like some people, like some healthcare people that I'm sure did risk their life every time they went to work. But I felt super blessed that, you know, I never missed a paycheck. I felt super blessed that I didn't lose my job. I didn't have to go on unemployment. I will say that somebody fraudulently applied for unemployment for me, which was a pain in the tush. I mean, you had to do like 18 different steps. It's like getting your identity stolen. Because if I ever did go on unemployment and somebody had been drawing in my name, obviously that would affect my unemployment, and we definitely didn't want that to happen. And so that was crazy. I mean, from sending something to the Attorney General to going to the police and filing a police report, you know, going in and freezing all my credit accounts. It was not fun. We'll just put it that way. So I feel super blessed in the fact that if I did get exposed or if I did have COVID, it was at the very beginning and, you know, we got through it. Of course, I am like super claustrophobic, so the whole mask thing was not cool. Not cool. And I'm telling you what, by the end of the school year, I was so done, like so done with having to wear that mask that I was about to lose my mind. I just literally felt like I could not breathe. And I didn't like that. Okay, let's see for a powder that I haven't used in forever and ever and ever. How about Fit Me? I haven't used this in forever. I have this in Fair. I don't know why I have this in Fair, but I probably need a little bit of lightening up on my too dark foundation. So there was that. We went back into school. I mean, we did all this different stuff. By the end of the school year, I felt like I was an experienced sanitation specialist, an experienced waitress, and short order cook. I felt like I was definitely a digital converter, paper to digital converter expert. Because we had to change all of our paper copies. We didn't have to, but we had to change all of our paper copies into digital copies. So should we go virtual, we would have a way for our kids to get to their work. So that was a nightmare. And so we were using this website called Canvas, and it's basically a way to create online courses. And man, it took us a long time to figure it out. We finally learned how to stop reinventing the wheel and everybody doing everything, and we just kind of delegated out responsibilities to each teacher and divided it up. Then we had trouble with the ones that the other person created. We couldn't get them to open and blah, blah, blah. This was, I mean, it took us through the rest of the year to get all that kind of figured out, and I think we have it figured out. I don't want to speak too soon because sometimes whenever you get a little full of yourself, that's whenever you find out that you really don't know what you're doing. Okay, I have not in forever used this Smashbox step-by-step contour palette. I remember Emily Noel reminding me that I even had this. Like, she reminded me, but she was using it on her channel, and I thought, I have that. I need to use it. So I'm going to go into the cooler shade and do a little contour, and then I'm going to kind of blend that out with the warmer shade for bronzer. And guys, I've been putting makeup on in a mad rush for the last few months. Like, I'm not even sure I'm good at it anymore. My first real video back, I shouldn't have done a shop my stash, try stuff I haven't tried in a long time, because I might end up looking like a hot mess. If I do, sorry about it. So we just kind of flew by the seat of our pants, did the best we could. We had one and a half weeks, I think. I think it was right before Thanksgiving that we did go virtual, because we just had kind of a little spell there where we had quite a few of our adults that got COVID. And so it's not that we weren't at all touched by COVID. We were. And some people that I love very much lost people that they love very much. And so it's not that we were not touched by COVID. It just wasn't so severe that we had to shut our school down. And very few, if any, children contracted it, which was wonderful. We had quite a few that had to end up going into quarantine until we found out. Because every time one of them was sick, we had to basically quarantine them because we didn't know until they got tested if that's what it was. So now I'm going with the warmer shade. But anyways, we had just that week and a half that we were virtual, but we had to maintain the website as if we could go virtual at any time, because we could go virtual at any time. So it was crazy. It was just crazy, you guys. Just a crazy time, and that's all I can say about it. And all I know is I have never longed for normal. Even the normal stuff that I didn't particularly like. Even that normal stuff. I was longing for it. I'm still longing for it. But anyway, I was at least happy to be able to finish out the school year with my kids. And as challenging as it was, we made it. It just shows me what kind of rock stars teachers are. Like, we just roll with the punches and we do what we need to do when we need to do it, and we just do what's best for our kids. And it's a challenge. It was, whoo, Lord, I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. It was a crazy year. All right. For eye base, I think I'm gonna use my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas eye base. I haven't done that I haven't used this in a while. I'm gonna use the fair shade. This stuff goes so far. Like, I barely even dipped the tip of that into the stuff that was on the cap. And it's going to cover both my lids. So I'm using my little mini blender to do this. I love this. At least I remember loving it. And so I'm going to use it for my eye base. If you haven't tried it yet and you want 30% off, I'm still a Gerard affiliate. So all my info will be down in the info box. I'll also put a little annotation with my code, which is Pink Share Bear. It'll get you 30% off. And so yeah, definitely try this. It's really good for just an eye base, but it's also good for cutting creases and all the jazz. So, and now they've got several different shades. They started out with just medium, which worked for me, but I like the fair shade better. And they have just a white one. And they also have a deeper shade. So that's awesome. So as far as my family is concerned, both of my parents did end up with COVID. And those two folks were the folks that I was most concerned with protecting. Like, you know, for months I would bring them things, or they would bring me things, and we would just drop them off on the porch and wave at each other. And that was so sad. It was so sad. And the only place that they went was to the store and to the doctor. And you know, when you're at the doctor, who knows? And obviously they were masked up and all the jazz, but they got it. My dad got it. He got super sick and sleeping in the bed with mom. So she got it. And I was mostly, I was mostly worried about her, and he ended up being more severe than she did. But I was most worried about her because she had had that medical emergency or crisis where her lungs had, basically, she had her lungs filled up with fluid and she almost died. It was like no joke. And so I thought that she was probably more vulnerable to all that stuff. And so that was super scary, but thank God. I mean, they do have some residual effects from all of that, but they made it through. Neither one of them ended up hospitalized, so I'm super grateful for that. I'm looking for a blush. Ooh. Listen to me. Ooh. I haven't used this one in a long time. This is a Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo in matte and shimmer. And I just kind of mostly go into the matte and then do a little bit of shimmer at the end and just mix them. But this is so pretty. This is Mojave Mauve. So pretty. I'm not sure I'm loving the coverage of the Pro Matte though. I mean the Pro Glow, and it doesn't look glowy. Well, of course I said it, but it doesn't look super glowy. But it's whatever. I'll get back into the groove, hopefully someday. I mean, there were times that I really considered giving up YouTube because I just didn't know. I'm like, is it worth it? Is it the most important, how can I put this? Is it the best use of my time? Are there things that I should be doing? And every time I get to that point, I say to myself, but you love it. But you love it, dummy. So, and it is something that I do for myself. And you know, you get to those points in this kind of situation where you get so frustrated that there's not growth on your channel. You stay the same for an entire year, which is basically what I've done. And even before you know, all the COVID and everything happened, I was really already feeling the frustration of feeling like I hadn't grown. And so I'm hoping with regular lives and regular posting, I will start moving in the right direction again. I'm going to use the Ofra highlighter called Pillow Talk. It's a really pretty pink. I haven't used it in a long time, but I think I loved it. I mean, it's a pink highlighter, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to hate it. Very pretty. I'm gonna go off camera and do my eyebrows. I'm using the regular stuff I always use because that's what works for me. And then I'll be back. Boom, back. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna do the Manny Muhaha thing. Back in the brows are filled. What? Back in the brows are filled. Woo! Boom. Okay, so the other day I was doing a live and it was for my friend Lisa's birthday. I was feeling really bad and so it wasn't as fun as I wanted it to be, but I tried. And I went through and did some swatches and some palette reveal for her, and I came across this. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty. So that's what I'm going to use today. I don't even remember. I'm assuming I like it. It looks like my zhuzh, doesn't it? So I'm going to use that. I am going to use this roller lash liner. I don't even remember. I know I got this a long time ago, but I don't remember if I like it. I know it has one of those bendy felt tips. We'll see if I can make it work, but I'm going to do that. But while we're talking, while I'm doing my eyeshadow, we're going to talk about the pudginess, fatness that has returned to my body. So not happy about it. But first, let me zoom in. All right. I'm going to start off just by using a palette that shall not be named just to put some white under my brow bone. Anyway, I was on the keto train for the longest and I had lost about 75 pounds. And I was going to the gym on a regular basis. I was really doing good, aside from having a pretty bad bout with anemia because I didn't have enough iron, obviously. I had to add some grains and things back into my diet, some oats and things like that because I was so low in iron. And not a fan of liver and a lot of things that give you a lot of iron. But I ended up joining the gym, going on a regular basis, loving it, like being a weirdo about it that loved the gym so much. I loved it so much. And basically COVID hit. And so I did not feel comfortable, even though my gym stayed open for a little while. I just did not feel comfortable going there. At the beginning of the COVID stuff, I was scared. I was scared, y'all. I didn't want to go. I was scared. And so I just basically, after about a month, 2 months at home, boredom, loneliness, missing my family, I just fell off the wagon, like completely. And before I knew it, my clothes weren't fitting. I felt like I was losing some of my physical freedom that I had gained, and so disappointed in myself because, and I'm not beating myself up, it's just so disappointing when you work so hard to get to a certain point and now you're back at square one and you have to start over again. All that to say, I also feel like I potentially had a knee injury. I was on an exercise bike. I'm searching for a brush here right now. I was on an exercise bike and the seat was not adjusted for me properly. Obviously those things go up and down where you can adjust it for your height, and I just really think that it was way too far down and my knees were coming up too high. And I remember kind of feeling a pop a couple times whenever I was moving my knee up and down, but then I fixed it and it was okay. Well, after that I was just like really sore, and I'm like, I don't need to get on that bike anymore. You know, that's not good for me. The reason I wanted is because it wasn't putting so much weight on my legs and my joints, and I could go really fast and I could get my heart rate going like crazy, and I love that. And I still wish I could do that. But anyways, all that to say, I have had knee pain, excruciating knee pain for the last year. And finally, I got an appointment, got my knee checked, got it x-rayed. I have gotten it MRI'd, and I finally get to go to an orthopedist on Wednesday. Today is Monday. And so I am so excited just to find out if there's something wrong. When you have fibromyalgia, you have pain in various parts of your body. It might be there for a month and disappear. It might be there for a year. You just never know. And so I don't know if this is just a fibro thing or if I have injured myself. So I'm going to go find out. Mostly because it's summer, and if there's something wrong, which rude, things falling down, rude. Anyways, I found the brush finally. If I'm injured, I need to, and if I need surgery, if I need an injection, if I need something, I need to do it during the summer when I'm not in school. Okay, I'm going to go in with just a mid-tone to start off in my crease. I do not remember how these perform, so I'm going to tap off to begin with. And this is kind of like a taupey mauve shade. And I think I'm just going to do like just a basic, put some color on, put some shimmer on my lid, and I really have been loving like an extremely long wing lately. Whenever I did that look for Lisa on my live, and I'll link that up there for you if you want to see it, I thought whenever I got finished, I looked like a Bratz doll. Remember those Bratz dolls that look like they don't have a nose and barely a mouth, and they have these ginormous cat eyes? That's what it looked like, and it was so pretty. So I'm going to try to make a big wing today too, which is probably not a good idea considering I'm using a liner that I am not familiar with anymore. But anyway, so very frustrated because now that I can go to the gym, all I can really do is walk and do upper body stuff, and even walking, like I have to have a day or two in between to deal with the soreness that it causes in my knee just from walking. I did some research and they said that, you know, I couldn't, if I had, which I don't think I even finished my point a minute ago, I am 99% sure that I have a meniscus tear, which I had a meniscus tear before, and very infrequently can those be healed naturally. I don't know if mine healed naturally or I just did physical therapy for it, and then after that, and of course I was 19 years old, so You know, things heal better, faster, easier, more completely when you're young, and when you're not as heavy as I am now. So anyways, all that to say, if I need a surgery or an injection, I would need to do it while I'm not in school, where I'll have time to recover. So I am thrilled that my health system that I use, the Native American health system that I use here for the majority of, you know, my high dollar things, that they got me in very quickly, because that usually doesn't happen. And so I'm so thankful. And of course I hope that I don't need surgery, but if I do, I want to get it done. And if I can get an injection or something that's going to help with the pain, then maybe I can get back at the gym and get some of this weight off, because obviously extra weight doesn't do anything but exacerbate. Is that the right word? Exacerbate? Make the problem worse. All it does is make the problem worse. Exacerbate. I'm going to ask Alexa. Exacerbate. Sometimes I think that I use words in the wrong way, and I just naturally, you know, just from being so smart and brilliant and everything, I know what the words mean, but I don't want to be that idiot who uses a word that doesn't make sense. This guy I dated when I was in early college, he used to, when we would get in an argument, I would say something trying to take a dig at him or whatever, and he would say, "That doesn't even phrase me. That doesn't even phrase me." And I was like, "You sound so stupid." Anyway, he did. He sounded stupid because he was stupid. Anyway, this is a beautiful color, just FYI. It's the color Fool's Blush. Anyway, did I even say this is You Had Me at Hello by ColourPop? Good Lord. I am out of practice, folks. You're just going to have to bear with me. Out of practice of being a YouTuber. So anyway, exercise exacerbates, weight exacerbates. I'm going to use the word exacerbate like 14 times. Aggravates the problem. And so all the things. Fat can't exercise without hurting it. Staying fat exacerbates the problem. Therefore, exacerbates. Anyway, all that to say, hard to go to the gym. Hard to lose weight when you can't exercise and go to the gym. La 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 la. So, back on the train. Gonna go see the orthopedist, talk to him about what's going on, because I don't want to do anything to make it worse. Even though I was told I could exercise, I need some professional advice. It's like, can I keep doing this? Is it okay? Am I exacerbating the issue? But obviously I need to work on getting some weight off, and I'm hoping that by the end of the summer, I will have lost 15, 20 pounds to make my job of standing up at work not as bad, and hopefully be on the road to getting back to where I was and feeling a heck of a lot more healthy than I do right now. So I didn't even finish talking about my parents and the COVID. I'm just so overly thankful that they made it through. I'm so thankful. That's all I can say about that. So now I'm going to go in with, I think I want to add some of this plummy shade right here to the outer corner. And then I'll go in with maybe this darker brown to add a little bit of depth there. Fine. Be rude. Fall over then. So that's been my life. You know, my husband was hospitalized a couple times. He had pneumonia. Like, there's just always something. One of my best good friends, Erica, we have, you know, really tried to stay in contact with each other. I tend to go inward and to myself when I'm struggling. And since I was pretty much struggling with my health and just with the state of school and everything the whole school year, I had to make myself correspond. And God bless her, she was homeschooling her kids, and she's got 2 boys, and that was super rough on her. She's not even done yet. She's got about a week and a half left, and God bless her. I mean, gosh, that's got to be hard. Obviously, you're a parent. You're going to do what you need to do for your kids, but most parents didn't sign up to be a teacher, you know? So I think she's done an excellent job, but what if you're not inclined to be a decent teacher and you're having to do that? She did an excellent job, whether she thinks so or not, she did, but I know she is ready to be done. That's beautiful. I am so glad I picked this up today. All right, now with the darker shade, just on the very outside corner too. Actually, I'm gonna go back in and, see what happens when I talk? I think I already did this. Durr. Okay, now with the dark color on the very outside corner, just to deepen that up just a little bit more. And then we'll get a shimmer on the lid. So, you know, try to stay in contact with friends. Try to check up on people, because I know there were some times I felt so lonely. It didn't matter that I had people that wanted to talk to me, that wanted to see me. I was lonely. You know, it's crazy. You think you can live without people, and it's not true. We need each other. We need human interaction. I had never wanted a hug from my mom more than I did after being away from them forever. It was so, I wanted a hug from my dad and a kiss on my forehead. I wanted a hug from my mom. It was hard to be away from them. That was the hardest part for me, was being away from my parents. If nothing else, this whole thing has taught us how to be more grateful for our family and the people we love. And just the world going crazy, you know, all of it has been nuts. Okay, I think that's as much as I'm gonna do with the brown, because I just want it a little bit. I'm gonna take that previous brush and blend it out. Got everything that I need, your goodness and your mercy. If you guys want a good worship album, and you're kind of like an old school gospel-y type of, you like that vibe, go get, there goes my phone.
Your grace is my defense. Your kindness.
If you kind of like an old school gospel type vibe music, worship music, go get Old Church Basement by Elevation Worship and Maverick City Music. Awesome. Go get it. Also, if you like old hymns, go get the gospel album by Carrie Underwood. Those have carried me through this thing like you would not believe. So encouraging, so wonderful. Okay, I'm going to take that dark brown shade and put it on my lower lash line, and then blend it out with the rosy mauve color.
Oh, Jesus, you are everything I need. You are my Savior and my King.
Like I said, the whole time that, you know, we were in school and the COVID, it was so hard. And I was so tired. It's like I could not get myself to film. I just couldn't make myself film because I was so flippin' tired all the time. I would come home just emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, just completely tapped out. And what I used to do is I would dedicate a weekend day to filming, probably once every month. Once every other week, I would spend a weekend day filming, and then I'd spend the rest of my, you know, evenings doing editing. And good gravy, I could not do it. I could not. It's like the whole entire weekend I was recovering from the week. And part of it was, you know, health issues, but a lot of it was just stress, straight up stress, which makes my health issues worse. So it was just, if I haven't made it abundantly clear, it was a rough time. I'm going to go in with this shade on my lid. It's a goldy shade, and then I'm going to use that on my inner corner. But never in my 3 years of filming, almost 4, on June 19th, it'll be my 4-year anniversary. Never in all my years of being on YouTube did I ever go the length of time that I went without posting videos. And then I decided I would start doing lives, because at least I would have some content, and at least people wouldn't forget who I was. I didn't want people to forget me. And so I started doing that, and you know, there were weeks I just could not do it. I still couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't give up that much of my Sunday because I was so worn out. Like, Saturdays were like straight up. I mean, and then of course I still have to do grocery shopping, cleaning, laundry, lawn. Now that it's, you know, getting to be spring, summertime, I have to mow my grass. Like, and that would knock me out because of my knee. And that would exacerbate all my problems. Boy, is this turning out to be a pity me party or what? I am not trying to be that way, but it's been a difficult time, if I have not made that abundantly clear. So I am so very thankful to be on summer. I am so very thankful to have time to spend with the people that I love, that, you know, just to have a breather from the intense stress of what this year has been. Just so stressful. And I had a very challenging class, which I think I would have had a challenging class no matter what. I think they were affected by everything the same way I was affected by everything, you know? And kids don't know any better than we do how to express that they're uncomfortable or lonely, or they can't handle, you know, the way things are any more than we do. And so, you know, with the kids, usually it ends up in a behavior issue. So there were lots of those, which exacerbated my stress. Okay, I'll quit. I will. I'll quit. I'll quit saying exacerbated. In with the pretty frosty shade. Because what makes me happy? Bright and shiny inner corners. That makes me happy. And that's probably part of my problem is, like, you know, my makeup therapy was just me slapping my makeup on every morning. And believe me, I still did my makeup every day. But there were a lot of days that I slept later than I should have, and I was just in a mad rush. And there were a lot of days that, you know, I had bronzer for eyeshadow, and that was it. No lashes. I think I used to wear fake lashes or false lashes to school quite often. But this year, maybe 3 times, maybe. Okay, I'm going to take a clean brush, if I can even find one. That's another thing that I have done none of. You should see my house. My house looks like a tornado lifted my house up, spun it around, and then dropped it back down. Yeah, that's what my house looks like. So I'm just going to go on the outer edge here and just make sure that's nice and blendy with this pretty fluffy. And yeah, so yeah, it's been nuts. Alright, I am going to curl my eyelashes, put on this eyeliner. I think I'm going to do it off camera just because I think it might be a struggle bus moment. But I'm going to make some big wings, and I'm going to come back with my lashes done. I'm going to put on some falsies. I'll do that on camera though. I'll be back. I decided to come back on and do this liner because since this is kind of the shop my stash, do I still love it kind of video, I wanted to use this on here so you guys can see, but I'm not going to talk through it. I will fast forward zoom through it.
always true. My hope is found in you. Each day your mercies know you're good to me. You're good to me. Oh Jesus, you are everything I need. You are my savior and my king. You are the reason I believe. You are so good to me.
All right, now just to use some things I haven't used in a while again, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Highlighter on my inner rim. Then I'm going to use some Lights Camera Lashes on my upper lashes and my MAC Gigablack Lash on my lower lash line. This is my Emily Noel. Believe me, I have kept up watching Emily Noel, but I have been so having trouble even watching YouTube. It's so sad. Like, my only time to watch it is at night in bed or early in the morning when I'm getting ready. And at nighttime I fall asleep to it. So some things I watch. And in the morning I'm doing my own makeup, so I very rarely comment on anybody's posts or their videos, but I watch them on my TV usually. And so I'm trying to keep up with people, but I very infrequently comment because I'm always in a mad rush. There we go, to brighten up the eye a little bit. I like that. I think I remember this kind of gooping up though on me, and I think that's the reason why I stopped using it. Lights Camera Lashes is one of the first mascaras I ever bought that was like high end. I thought it was so fancy and so incredible. And this is a sample. I haven't bought it in a long time. It's really nice. I like the brush. It's really nice at separating, but it sure doesn't do much for length. Maybe adding a little volume, but not bad for using it for darkening and separating the lashes before falsies, you know? Don't have to be super picky when you're doing that. What I did mostly this year is use a lash primer and a good mascara to make it look like I kind of had some lashes when I really don't. They're almost non-existent.
Always true. My hope is found in you. Each day your mercies know you're good to me. You're good to me.
All right, I'm happy with this. Nice, pretty look. Nice, pretty look. Now I need to get some lashes on and some lips. I am going to use these. I don't remember if I like them, but I think I will. I've used them before. This is the Lilly Lashes Boxy Charm CEO style. I don't know what my hair is doing here. Guys, I have not colored my hair in so long. I ran out of spray paint, so all the grays are coming through. I have about an inch of regrowth or new growth, and I am about 50% gray. I am so not okay with that. I'm going to use my Esquido Companion Lash Glue. I don't remember if I like this, and it's probably getting to the end of life. It's probably pretty gunky. Yeah, it's not looking too great actually. But, you know, it's on here. So I'll roll with it, but I think it's time to declutter this. I think I liked it. This is the sad part. Oh, hush. This is the sad part about having too much makeup is sometimes so much time goes by, you kind of get into a pattern of using the same thing all the time, and you forget if you like something or if it's fabulous or not. Like, I love this palette. I love it. it's definitely something I would use on it every day, because this is really, you know, the kind of look I would, again with the rudeness, I would definitely wear this to work. This is kind of like a work look for me. Maybe not such a long wing, but definitely the eyeshadow. Hallelujah is all I need when I think of your goodness and your love for me. All the joy of my salvation is coming back to me. It's just an old hallelujah with a new melody, and I'm singing, whoa, 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 I'm singing. Alrighty, let's see about these lashes. Oh, quite pretty. Yes, indeed. Quite pretty. Yes, indeed. Pretty. Alright, while the lashes are drying and jacking up my eyeliner line, I'm going to go find a lippy and we'll put that on together and I will be ready to roll, you guys. I know this is a long video, but I had a lot to say. Alright, so I backed it up a little. I'm going to use my drugstore lippies. I haven't used these in a long time. This used to be one of my favorite. This is Rimmel Exaggerate in the shade Eastend Snob. And this is the Rimmel Kate Lippy in 200 Soft Heather. No, Soft Hearted. I'm blind. Alright, let's go in with these and see how they do. Hopefully they're not old and exacerbated. Okay, so I always used to, my eyeliner isn't too bad. I fixed it a little bit. I always used to use Better Than Sex Mascara to blend in my falsies. So I'm going to do that again. Because I got a bunch of glue on my natural eyelash. Like tonight when I take these off, I'm going to have to definitely use a wipe and not like just pull them off, because my lashes are going to come with it if I do that. Okay, spray. I have been using Morphe every day of my life for as long as I can remember. And I saw Emily Noel, I saw Emily Noel set her makeup with Fix Plus, and I always use Fix Plus to like wet my brush and occasionally to re-moisten my sponge, but never to set. So I want to see if I like it. So here we go. I forget how lovely this cherry blossom scent is. I wish that I would have gotten more than one because it was like a limited edition thing, but I did not. See how it looketh. Well, it looks wet right now. But now that I have all my makeup on, I think the foundation looks alright. In real life, it looks kind of yellow. But it's alright. Okay. Let's zoom all the way out. Okay, you guys, thank you. I know this was super long. I'm going to try to It would not be a Sherri video without lipstick on my teeth. It just wouldn't. Okay, so there, we got that out of the way. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging in there with me if you're coming back and looking at this video, because it's been a really long time. I think I posted one speed through voiceover, and I might have another speed through before work video, but I really missed this, and I miss talking to you guys, and so thank you for your patience through all this. I really hope that I will have a summer where my health is good and I can spend a lot of time on here playing with makeup and having a good time with you guys. So I love you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit that cute little notification bell so that you won't miss any of my future videos. And until next time, take care and God bless. Bye, guys. This is covered with dirt. OMG. Oh, you like to do fart. This is gonna be a fun, full of blooper video. And I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you. I've tasted your goodness, and I trust in your promise, so I'm gonna wait on you. Or if the shade that I has, This is the old one? Well, no wonder I couldn't get any flippin' powder out of it. Sometimes my brain. Ow. Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. No one is gonna cover up my face. Lord have mercy. Here I go. Yes, I did it.